It's not started yet.
Okay. Hello, and it's a very, very warm welcome to everybody who's out there. I'd like to welcome you, Camilla McGill, and I'm from My Parenting Solutions. I would like to see, so here we go, it is 7:59. And I'm just being told I need to type something in the chat box here. This is Camilla. Okay, great. So the chat box to your right is what I see. Okay, I'm just going to put the camera on so you can see me briefly, and then I'm going to switch it off again while I get onto my presentation. So here I am. Hello and good, very, very big welcome to How to Potty Train Your Child Without Tears, Frustration, and Lots of Mess. And I'm going to be telling you tonight all about, so I'm going to switch the camera off now so you get the full view of all the slides, and I'll join you on camera at the end. But tonight is all about giving you the roadmap to successful potty training with what I call my 4 C's. So that's about, sorry, I'm just going to stop. Why?
Just because people will be joining now.
Okay, sorry. You probably just joined because it is actually now 8 o'clock. So I'm giving you a little view of me, but I'm going to switch that off in a minute. So as I was saying, I'm giving you the roadmap to successful potty training with what I call my 4 C's. So that's about giving you clarity, confidence, the ways to communicate, communication, and collaboration. And I'm really excited that you're here. As I mentioned just now, on your right is the chat box. I see all your messages, so you type them at the bottom and they come up and I see them. So I will be checking in with you as we move along, just to see, ask you a few questions and maybe get you to introduce yourself. So I'm going to switch the camera off now because for those of you that have arrived beautifully punctually, you've seen what I look like, and I am Camilla McGill and I'm the founder of My Parenting Solutions. So I have been in parent education for coming up 20 years. I absolutely love the work that I do. So I just get so totally inspired by working with parents, helping them find solutions. And it's really exciting for those of you that are here with me tonight. It's really exciting for me. I hope you find it exciting as well. This is my family. So this is a really, really important part of the parent education work that I do because I have 4 children. There they are on the left, many years ago. So I have a boy called Nico and a boy called Felix and a girl called Scarlett and a girl called Alice. And there they are with me on the right, celebrating my birthday a while ago. And like I say, what I teach, I have practiced and used always with my children throughout their lives. I have practiced and used everything that I teach, and so I'm not going to teach you any weird theories or things that are difficult to put into place, because I know what it's like to be a busy working parent. And I know how difficult it is. So that's just to tell you about my family. But I want you to tell you a little bit about my my story. So why I have particular focus on potty training. I work with parents on all kinds of areas of parenting, but I absolutely love working with parents on potty training. So how did this come about? Well, for my first child, Nico, when he was potty trained, I actually had a very experienced nanny who I worked with, and things went pretty smoothly. But with my second child, Felix, it was very, very different story. And I think that's what often happens with us as parents is whether it's with potty training or sleep or food, they're all so different. And you can really have difficulties with one and not necessarily with another. So I have a confession to make. When when it came to potty training with Felix, I really didn't take it seriously. And boy, did I make some mistakes. I had so much else going on. So I had just had a baby. I had a 5-year-old, my 2.5-year-old Felix. I was on maternity leave from running my own parent education practice. I was breastfeeding. I was trying to manage my 2 boys, make food, do the washing. And I decided, I looked at Felix and I just thought, well, hold on a minute. He's over 30 months now, which some books will tell you they'll tell you that it's old on the spectrum. That's not my experience. But anyway, and I thought, well, this is a practical time to potty train him. And so, here we go. So I took off his nappies and diapers for any of those Americans listening. And I gave him no warning. I didn't work with him. I didn't engage him. I just, from one day to the next, I whisked off his nappies and boy, did it backfire. I would just love to know if anybody is, if there's any problems with my microphone or if you can hear me, if you could just give me your name in the chat box and say hi. That would be really useful because you kind of talk into a void doing these live sessions, and it would just be great to know that who's there. So perhaps you could just give me a hi and your name in the chat box. 31. Okay, great. So I've got some coming in. Lovely. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much for telling me. Yeah, plenty of people hearing me perfectly. Okay, so what I did, I gave him no warning. I whisked off his nappies from one day to the next, and then I proceeded to chase him around the house, often with the baby still latched onto me, and I just couldn't get him to get it. He wasn't producing anything on the potty. He was confused and miserable, and I got more and more frustrated. His poos were a disaster. They were unpredictable. He refused to go near the potty for them, and he constantly pooed in his pants in random places. It really didn't get any better for a long time. On a friend's advice, we tried motivating him with using stickers and chocolate. That didn't work. He'd have a meltdown because he couldn't understand that he wasn't getting the chocolate or the stickers. And then we tried sort of threats or punishment, right? You can't watch television until you've used the potty, or no, you can't come out into the garden to play until you've used it. We tried comparisons. Your older brother didn't do this. Your friends can use the potty. And then one day I just knew that this really wasn't working and I had to do something and I had to get help. So I reached out to an expert to give me help. I hadn't focused on potty training with my parent education work, and so I really decided I wanted somebody, an expert, to help me. And with her help, we really, really changed the approach. So what did we do to solve the problem? We got Felix on board and we started to work with him to solve the problem. You might think that this is obvious, but it really isn't. We taught him how to understand how his body works. We asked him what his preferences were for pooing. We emphasized that having accidents at friends' house was scary. We empathized that having accidents at friends' house was scary, and he totally changed. He became happy to use the potty. He knew where to poo. And you'll see on the next slide what happened. But I want to tell you that I was so thrilled with the results that I took it further. I started to research and refine and develop a really thorough roadwork by working with more and more parents to help them. I couldn't believe how relieved parents were to either be able to start from scratch, feeling confident and get all the practical steps, or to get steps to solve the problems that they'd been facing. Parents absolutely loved my positive parenting approaches, and they particularly found that the collaborative approach made a huge difference. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. So what happened with Felix? Well, with this new approach, he gained confidence and became much more cooperative. He was able to express his needs and express himself. He felt like we were on side. He stopped resisting using the potty, and he stopped actually resisting us on other things like getting dressed and eating dinner. Parenting became so much more rewarding, and we had time for fun things because we weren't constantly battling with him. At nursery, he was independent and he happily used the toilet. He also was able, because he felt so much more confident than he had been, he joined in more activities. And so, what would that be like for you? If your child you've just felt so confident in them, in their potty training, and they were able to express their needs. So I'd like to know, I'm going to ask you to tell me in a second, whether this describes you. Maybe you don't know when to start, and this is why you're here. Maybe you don't know when to start and you'd like some help to get it right. Maybe you're here because you started out and then it all went wrong. Maybe you met with tears and frustration, or maybe the tears and frustration were yours. It's a really tough experience to get it wrong, and I totally and utterly empathize, and I get a lot of parents coming to me because they got it wrong. So this might well be you. Or maybe you're here because you're feeling pressured by your child's school, or you're feeling some kind of peer pressure. Maybe that's you. So what I'd like you to do in the chat box to your right is give me a 1 if you don't know when to start, or you want to start and you want to help to get it right. Give me a 2 if you've started and failed and you've experienced those tears and frustration. Or give me a 3 if you're pressured by your child's school or you're feeling peer pressure. So we've got lots of 1s and some 2s. Excellent. Okay, great. Thank you. That helps to give me an idea and know where you are with it. Okay, great. Thank you so much for keeping those 1s, 2s and 3s coming in. That's really helpful for me. So it looks like we've got quite a balance between people wanting to start, people starting and failing, and also people feeling that kind of peer pressure. Excellent. Okay. So look, I'm here to show you how to avoid experiencing potty training taking months and months, constant weeing and pooing in and out of the house, a child covering up their accidents, feeling like you're unable to send them on play dates, or your nursery school refusing entry or calling you in to complain about it. So I'm here to get you to a place where you don't experience that. So let's stay with me if you want to successfully potty train your child with a gentle approach. If you are an active and involved parent, that doesn't mean to say that you can't be a working parent and be extremely active and involved, but just that you're an active and involved parent. If you want to learn more about positively connecting with your child, and you'd like to learn some powerful, versatile techniques. So I'll talk as I go along. This is not just about potty training, but I really want to let you know that this is not for you if you feel that kids just need to be told to get on with it. If you don't believe it's important to understand children's emotions, and if you're after a one-size-fits-all approach, then I would just say thank you for your time so far, but I don't think this is going to be for you. So what I'd like you to do is just imagine what it would feel like if you had worked with your child so that they were truly independently using the potty and you deepened your relationship with them. If you had complete confidence that you could let them go out and not have accidents, and you no longer worried about damaging the environment with nappies in landfill. So I'd just love you to imagine that as I come on to talk to you about my 3 secrets to successful potty training. So I want to give you secret 1, that it is about stage, not age. And it's about knowing when to get started and when your child is ready, working in partnership with them for that. The other secret is about the power of preparation, time-saving, engaging ways to reach the start line. And the third secret is about working together, what I call the perfect potty partnership to help you reach the goal and beyond. I will be coming on to questions at the end, so save me your questions, but I'll be also interacting with you as we go along. Okay, so let's look at the first point, how to overcome the age trap and understand the stage your child is at. So you might want to think about this in terms of when your child first learnt to walk. You will know that your child, or each of your children, if you've got more than one, probably learnt to walk at different ages. But that doesn't mean to say that there was anything wrong with that. They just hadn't, at a certain age, they hadn't reached the stage where they needed to walk. So I know that you would have offered them words of encouragement. You would have supplied little carts for them to push along a surface, or you would have helped them cruise, or you would have held their hand. Remember that stage? You really did help them. So potty training isn't just about only letting your child dictate when you start. It's about working together, just like you did when your child first started walking. I bet you've even got videos of them making progress at it, and they stumbled and they gradually got it. So you need to get clarity on what stage your child is at. So you might be thinking, my child is just never going to get it. Shouldn't she be ready by now? Top tip, write this down. Write down the word should and put an X through it. The minute you start using shoulds with your parenting, you're on to a difficult, what my husband would call a sticky wicket. It's a cricket term. So take the shoulds out. And think, you might be thinking, my older child was done and dusted at this stage. All the other kids are trained. I want you to think about your child. So in terms of a normal range for potty training, from my point of view, I'd say 22 months is quite early on the spectrum. So it's just before 2. If a kind of the sweet spot is between the age of 2 and 3. But if your child is now 3.5 and still not ready, please don't feel that it's too late. I don't want you to feel guilty about this. Just take the guilt away and think about what you can do to get them engaged in it. So, and research has shown that early potty training, so that's before the age of 20 months, which tends to be called elimination communication, very long-winded, actually takes much longer and requires much more time and effort on the behalf of the child carers. So I'm kind of assuming that that might not be for you. So let's have a think about stage, not age. So high pressure, danger, high pressure. What pressure are you putting on yourself? So you might have been one of the ones that was a 3 in the chat book. You're feeling like either you're putting pressure on yourself because you might be feeling like you're, kind of failing as a parent. You might just be feeling like your school is on your back. But I would say motivating your child is great, but pressuring them, putting pressure on them will backfire. And if you start to pressure, if you use pressure too quick and you start too quickly, it really can backfire, and you begin a cycle of stop-start, which will undermine your confidence as a parent, and it tends to get more resistance from the child. So it's just that potty training is a really important milestone. And when you get it right, all kinds of other things fall into place. Actually, at the end, I've got a special bonus for you I'm going to be telling you about. And that's a really good thing to help reduce your stress levels, because the children will pick up on your stress levels. So take the pressure off. Your child is at the stage that it is at, no matter what age it is, he or she is. So I want to tell you about some of the signs of readiness. Now, I have about an hour with you tonight. So there's only so much you can cover in an hour. So I'm able to pick up on some of the things that some of the signs of readiness. I touch on things, but I can't go into the full depth on everything, understandably. And you're not here all night anyway. So some of the signs of readiness. could be showing interest in others using the potty or the toilet. So the others might be you or your partner, or it might be other children. They're kind of curious. They're interested. They're interested what's going on, and they are just curious about it. So they're showing interest. Another sign is that they can indicate verbally or non-verbally before they do a wee or a poo. And sometimes when doing the poo particularly, they might take themselves off to a private place in order to do that. So that's a sign to you that they are aware physically that they are about to do something. And a wee might be the potty dance. It might be a kind of glassy-eyed, far-away look. So they are giving you those signs before they do their wee or their poo. Another sign of readiness is that they can follow a two-stage instruction. So that might be wash your hands and come to the table. Pick up your bag and hang it on the peg. So, pick up your coat and hang it on the peg. That's a two-stage instruction, and they're able to follow that. Another sign of readiness is that they can stay dry for about 1.5 hours during the day. So that's not by all means every sign, but it's some of the signs of readiness. And thinking about stage, not age, at the right stage, a child will like cooperating and being independent about the potty. So, it may be that your child is ready and you haven't realized. It may be that they are actually at the right stage and you haven't realized. How exciting would that be? You may have been a bit busy and just not noticed some of these signs. But when you catch your child at the right stage, they feel confident and proud of themselves and they want to cooperate. So, I teach people about the amazing results you get when you take the pressure off and you motivate in a different way. So you can get this long before you actually start potty training about how to motivate them in the right way. So I'm going to come on to that in a minute. But listen, don't just hear it from me. I get really lovely emails and testimonials from clients all the time. So Harriet had a miserable time. Is her second daughter. She really thought she was ready because, in fact, she was dry at night, unbelievably. And so she just thought, bang, let's go for it with Ellie. And then it had just gone really horribly wrong for months and months. We worked together and she wrote me this email, and she said, "You're a genius. I followed your advice and things almost instantly got better. Ellie responded really well to everything. So we have had a completely dry week at nursery, which was unheard of. And she's only had a couple of accidents since we started. I'm so grateful. I can't believe that small changes have made so much difference. And the best part is that I'm really enjoying parenting again. And I've deepened my connection with Ellie so much more." And what a lovely thing for me to hear, but how lovely might that be for you to have that deeper connection with your child? So that's the section on stage, not age. And I'd like you to write down what you can take away. Now, you might want to write that down on a paper in front of you, or you might want to write it in the chat box, because I love to hear from in the chat box. I can see them. I can't always completely and utterly focus on them. So what could you take away from that? Thinking about stage, not age, and taking off the pressure, knowing your child, looking out for those signs. Okay, great. Lovely. Now, moving on to the benefits of preparation. So why is preparation so important? If you think back to the beginning when I talked about my 4 C's, this is covering clarity and confidence. So when you are prepared, it just saves so much time and stress. And the same thing for a child. A child who is prepared is so much less resistant, so much more cooperative, and they understand what's expected of them. If you think about going on a trip, You will, if you're going to have a successful trip out with your children, you will prepare for it. And no doubt you'll pack a bag, you'll take snacks. If your children are still in nappies, you'll take wipes. And that just makes everything go much so more smoothly. You may also prepare your child by telling them what's expected, telling them what you're doing, getting them involved in it. So that is why preparation is so important. And the power of preparation, it's not too late if it's all gone wrong. This is a cartoon of a miserable child. Really, it isn't too late. So often I get miserable parents coming to me with miserable children, just like I was. This is about pressing pause and looking at getting everyone in the right frame of mind and properly prepared. Write this down. This is your child. Your child is a sponge. Now, the good news is, I'm just going to take a drink of water because I'm very thirsty. But the good news is there are sponges for the good. So all your positivity, they absorb all your positivity, they absorb your values, they absorb your way of doing things. And they also absorb your negativity, they absorb your frustration, they absorb your irritation with them. So really think about that when you're thinking about your preparation. If you're thinking about preparation, it will really improve your chances of success. Like I said earlier, it will just make things go so much more smoothly. And when you're prepared, you feel informed, you feel positive, and you feel calm. And I'm a really big proponent of helping you as a parent to stay calm. Because when you're calm, you approach things in a completely different way. That gasket doesn't go off. You don't blow a gasket. You just know, you breathe and you think, okay, how do I deal with this situation? So here are my 6 steps to great preparation. Number 1, observe your child closely. What are they communicating about wheeze and poos and readiness? So look at this gorgeous girl. She's crossing her legs. So that's one of the ways that they may be communicating about them. So I mentioned earlier, they may be communicating by disappearing. They may be doing the jiggling. They may get that far away stare. Also a hunger or a curiosity in what you're doing. That's one of your ways to observe and know your child. So they're giving you clues. We so often miss these clues, which is why your child may be ready and you hadn't realized it. And when we don't observe them, that's what will often, don't get these clues right, that's what will often trigger a tantrum, because we just haven't watched what the child is communicating. Another step to great preparation, don't meet resistance with resistance. So here are the antlers. So what do I mean by that? It's when you get into that, yes, you must, no, you mustn't. In fact, Harriet told me, and she felt ashamed of it, but I really reassured her, we're all human as parents. She just pushed her child. She pushed Ellie onto the potty. I've changed her name, by the way, just to protect her privacy. But she pushed her onto the potty and she said, you have to wee now. And, sure enough, Ellie just jumped off and shouted, go away, I hate you. So that's what happens when you meet resistance with resistance. So you've got to think about what works to engage your child. Because, maybe they've been frightened of using the potty. Maybe they've felt pressured. Maybe they've had a negative experience. And if you put that pressure on and meet resistance with resistance, you're going to make the process far more lengthy than it actually needs to be. Now, step number 3, preparing the environment. Getting it right and getting the right equipment. Now, I don't want you to go out and spend hundreds of pounds by any means, but just knowing your child and knowing what is the best environment for them to do a wee or a poo on a potty. So it might be that your child is quite an extrovert, doesn't mind being in a public place, or they might be more on the introverted, shy side, and they like being more private. So think about that. Think about, the environment is really key predictor to success. And knowing how your child will respond to the environment will be a major determining factor for you. Step number 4, invest in emotional preparation. And Angela wrote to say, thank you so much for making sure I took time to listen to Sarah's fears and resistance to the potty. By no means all children have fears or resistance, but they might, and you can't predict it. So once we'd understood what her resistance was about, and she felt understood, she was happily using the potty so quickly. So, that's what's important about the emotional investment, emotional preparation, communicating that with them. Also things like, communicating with them the fact that they might like their nappy. They've worn it for a long time. And what's it going to feel like without it? Step number 5, practice makes perfect. Now, any of you that have followed my Instagram posts will know that I'm a massive proponent of practice. If you get your child to practice things ahead of time, it eliminates so much of the stress and resistance from them. So things like, I've shown a picture here of getting a child to practice putting their trousers or their pants on and off. So that's one way of practicing. You can practice getting them to flush the toilet. You can practice getting them to wash their hands. If you're using a toilet rather than a potty, in America they call them potty chairs, then you want to make sure that they have got a step up, so you can practice them stepping up to it. I also recommend an insert, a toilet seat insert, so you can have them practice sitting on that. And that can be long before you've even taken off their nappies, but it just gets them used to things and gets them practicing. So practice makes perfect. Remember that. Another, the number 6 step in my 6 steps to great preparation, parents that I work with, absolutely, they report back that this has an amazing impact on their child. It's about working with the brain-body connection. So some of you may have seen the pre-training little bit of training that I did for you on the process of elimination. So that was about explaining the process of elimination to your child. So, and that's about what your body needs in terms of food and how it eliminates it. And the brain-body connection builds on that. And my clients get some really helpful diagrams and kind of science experiments to do with their children to help them understand what actually goes on between their brain and their body in terms of the process of elimination, so that what signals their brain is giving and what signals their body is giving. And that is often a real game changer when clients really get that and work with their child on the brain-body connection. Isabel said, and this may be you, that she was feeling so frustrated and inadequate. She felt like she'd let her son down, and she thanked me for giving her the tools to make the process easy. Tonight's about giving you a broad roadmap to help you get to the goal of potty training. And that's what I find parents really, really need. And when they're feeling either fearful to start or they've started and they feel inadequate, it's because they haven't got the right roadmap. So those were my 6 steps for preparation. What might you do as a result of listening to this to prepare your child or to reboot, to restart your child? So what might you do? You can, I'd love to see it typed in the chat box, or make a note of that for yourself so you've got that down. Writing things down really helps cement your learning, and I'm very keen for you to get learning from tonight. So, working in partnership. This is the communication and collaboration part that I mentioned in the beginning and the 3 C's. So positive, you want to write this down, positive communication equals successful cooperation before, during, and after potty training. So it's positive communication right across the board. It's when you've got that clarity and confidence, your kids are wanting to cooperate. I've seen really difficult children transform when a parent changes the way they communicate with them. It's a muscle you'll very often need to develop because it doesn't always come naturally. So often we've got such busy lives, and so often we're frowning or we're tutting at our children. It's not, this isn't to blame you, but when you get the communication positive, it can really transform a child. It's also the building blocks to building emotional intelligence. So here's part of it, is praising in detail everything they do. So instead of saying good boy or great job or good girl, tell them exactly what they have done right, step by step. Also praising all their capabilities. So this isn't just about doing a wee on the potty, it's about praising their play, what kind of things they like to play with. It's about that engagement, getting that collaboration, praising what they can do physically. Can they climb? Can they jump? Can they wash their hands? Can they pull their trousers down? So both linked and not linked to potty training, those physical capabilities, and also praising their qualities. Are they brave? Are they kind? Are they helpful? All those qualities will build your child's emotional intelligence. This is around mindful parenting. And, you've possibly read about I suspect you might have heard about mindful parenting, but it's about really thinking about the best ways to bring out the best in your children. So praising all their capabilities feeds into that mindful parenting approach. Working in partnership with using empathy and understanding for their reluctance and fears. So don't dismiss their feelings, because their feelings are very, very real. They might not feel that way to you. You just might think they're making a fuss. But actually, this is a big process for them. And they might feel they're never going to make it, even if they don't communicate it in that way. But there are so many powerful ways to show your empathy and understanding. You might say, I think you're really rather fond of nappies and it feels like it's easier to carry on wearing them. That's an example of showing empathy and understanding for their reluctance and fears. Some children are fearful of the flush. So you might, it just to you think, well, they splash around in the bath. Why would they be fearful of a toilet flush? Actually empathize. Don't dismiss it, because that shows a child that you're on side with them. That's about the working in partnership and the collaboration with them. Also, I really don't want you to forget this. Remember this. Partnership makes potty training fun. And, it doesn't have to be this grueling experience that perhaps other parents have told you about, or if you've got, halfway into a grueling experience. It really doesn't have to be that way, because you're making it fun. You can use fun music, you can make up songs, you can read funny books, you can tell funny stories, and children will love to engage with you on those kind of things. So lighten up and think about this partnership as being something fun. And Gemma spoke to give me a big thank you. She said she felt inspired and positive. It was so nice to find someone who knows what they're talking about, as there's lots of well-meaning but unhelpful advice given out there. And that's, what I found before I'd really got into this on potty training, that quite often advice given is not good for your child. And this is all about making it relevant to your child. That's why it isn't a one-size fits all. And it's about taking what I'm talking about and kind of tailoring it to your child. So what's possible for you in partnership? What would you like to take away from what I've just talked about in terms of working in partnership with your child? So again, write that down. And, just a useful note for yourself, because I really want to give you value from your time spent with me tonight. And I hope you're all still here. So maybe, if you want to stick it in the chat box, what you think is possible in terms of partnership, then that would be lovely to hear from you. So those are my 3 secrets to successful potty training. As I said, a slice of it, but I really hope that something, that you can take away. So just to refresh what we've talked about, stage, not age, knowing when to get your child started, the power of preparation, time-saving, engaging ways to reach the start line, and working together, the perfect potty partnership to help you reach that goal and beyond. We've been talking about the roadmap to successful potty training with the 4 C's, and you might want to write them down: the clarity, confidence, communication, and collaboration. And those underpin all the work that I do. I want to talk to you now about some of the pitfalls that you need to avoid. So, your child is ready, but you are feeling too nervous to start. So that could be that you're missing the readiness, signs of readiness, or you fear the mess. So I'd love you to take what you've got already from tonight and think about, maybe my child is actually ready. So I'd like you to avoid delaying it. I'd also like you to avoid not doing the correct preparation, i.e., I want you to avoid jumping in too quickly and then stopping or starting or getting resistance, or it could trigger constipation and withholding, which is a major problem with children. Their constipation or withholding may have occurred before potty training, so I'm not blaming it on potty training, but it can trigger it. So, and that is usually because you've jumped in too quickly and not done the preparation. So I want you to avoid that. I also want you to avoid using motivation tactics that don't work for your child. I go as far as to say they don't work for any child. So things like comparisons, using the wrong tone of voice. Well, everybody else in your class can use the potty. Why are you still in nappies? Or using the threats like I did, unless you use the potty, you're not going to get to watch television. So I want you to avoid that because there are so many better ways to motivate your child. So I'm going to come on to questions shortly, but if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you a question now. Has your time so far on this training been well spent? And if you could just give me a yes in the chat box, then I'll know that your time has been well spent. Great. Okay, lovely. We've got lots of yeses coming in. Excellent. I'm glad you felt that your time so far has been well spent. So you have 2 options now that I want to talk to you about. You could take what I've taught you here today and have a go at it yourself and try to get it down. Try to get it working on your own. And I hope that I've given you value so far. There's some more to come, but that would be option 1. Option 2, what if I personally help you through the entire process? What if I took an active role in your results and work with you to help you achieve this yourself? Okay, let me ask you another question. Would you be okay if I told you about a more in-depth training course that I have on offer? Yep, if you could just give me a yes. Excellent. Okay, so I have, through my many, many years of working with hundreds and hundreds of clients, I took what I knew from working on a one-to-one with clients, and I've devised, it's taken me months and months and months to put this program together. I've devised a program called Potty Success Academy. I am so excited about this program. It is the only program of its kind that not only shows you exactly how to successfully potty train your child quickly and easily, but it also shows you how to work in partnership with your child to build your relationship, gain cooperation, and have a harmonious family life. And that's what I meant. I mentioned this mindful parenting. That's incorporated into Potty Success Academy, and it really is a unique program. So I'm going to tell you more about it now. By the end of the program, you will have potty trained your child at the right time with the right methods. You will have had guidance and support to give you the confidence and the ability to stay calm. You'll have gained an understanding of your child and how to motivate him to work in partnership. You'll have learned tools for life for a strong connection and great communication, and you'll have figured out how to avoid or deal with resistance. Now, I have got something that came through. So I'm going to just show you something that came through from a recent graduate of Potty Success Academy. I was just absolutely thrilled to receive this from Chrissy. It really took a lot for Chrissy to record this. Any of you that have spoken into a camera know how intimidating that was. So I think for her, it was a real testimony of what she got from being a part of Potty Success Academy. So I'm going to play you what Chrissy sent me.
Hi everyone, I'm Chrissy Allison from Chicago, Illinois, and I wanted to share some of the successes that my family had using Camilla McGill's Potty Success Academy.
Oh.
Hi everyone, I'm Chrissy Allison from Chicago, Illinois, and I wanted to share some of the successes that my family had using Camilla McGill's Potty Success Academy. I have a 3.5-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter, and when we potty trained my daughter, it was a one and done kind of situation. We potty trained her over the course of 3 days using a method we had found online for free, and she was pretty much ready. And so when we started potty training my son about 9 months ago, we did not anticipate the months and months of trials and tribulations that we would have. On 4 separate occasions, we cleared our weekend for potty training, only to have accident after accident after accident by the end of the weekend. And so we were pretty disheartened, and coming into month 9, we knew we needed a different approach. That's when I came across Camilla's potty training course, Potty Success Academy, and my husband and I watched all of the modules, and we were elated when my son finally got potty trained. This course was so different. It was such a different approach than what we had taken previously. And truth be told, it really aligns with my parenting philosophy. Camilla helped us learn about the brain-body connection and how important that was to share with our son. I felt like it was such a mindful approach to potty training where our child and us, we became partners in this, and there was a lot of open communication. We shared everything with him along the way. What to expect, what to anticipate, what was going to happen next. We learned so much about descriptive praise and reflective listening that was helpful not only in the potty training, but also just in our parenting in general. And so I am so thrilled with the results, but also just the experience that we had, which was so positive the whole way. Also, access to the Facebook group was amazing, to have Camilla there to answer our questions and to see other parents' successes and questions that they had. It really just provided such a supportive community where we didn't feel like we were alone, and we felt like there was someone to turn to when we had those challenges along the way. Camilla checked in with us almost daily, asking how are things going and helping us problem solve so that we could reach that point of success that we had really hoped for. So I encourage anyone who's about to embark on potty training for the first time, or even if you've done it before but you're looking for a more mindful, really respectful way to potty train your child. So yeah, thanks for letting me share my experience with you, and this was a great potty training experience.
Okay, so here we go. I did. Okay. Sorry about that. Here we go. Okay. Well, I hope that you were able to listen to Chrissy. Like I said, I think it was so brave of her to do that. And, you know, I was just thrilled that she, that I could share it with you. So let's talk about the Potty Success Academy. So the three things I have figured out that you need from a course and what you'll get with me is detailed and simplified training. I didn't want to make anything complicated. Support and coaching, and that's what you heard her say, and how to make it easy. So that's what you get from me. These are the course modules of Potty Success Academy. It's the complete roadmap to potty training. It's done in 4 modules. Module 1 is all the preparation, the get ready side. I'm not going over it into detail. I'm not going over it in detail right now, but you know, because I don't want to keep you on air for too long. But I just want to say, so module 1 is all the preparation that you need. Module 2 is all about that building partnership and collaboration, teaching them the brain-body connection. I call it Get Set. Module 3 is it. That's it. No more nappies. The go for it. Getting your child confidently and independently using the potty swiftly and easily without the tears and frustration. And it's designed to get you, like Chrissy, to restart or to start from scratch. Module 4 is ironing out any creases, and it covers avoiding or dealing with constipation and withholding. Now, the total value of the Potty Success Academy with the 4 modules and the PDFs, which I'll show you in a second, is normally $395. And I just want to tell you about what else I have got and a special offer that I have for you tonight. I didn't just want to give you the modules for Potty Success Academy. I wanted to give you some bonuses. I'm really passionate about nutrition, and I consulted with a top nutritionist, Zoe Kirby, all about nutrition for children's gut health and avoiding constipation. So I recorded the consultation. It's fascinating. I learned a lot, even though I thought I knew a lot, and that would normally be a value of $80. So wait, because I've got another bonus. So Potty Success Academy would be the 4 modules, including loads of PDFs, printable resources, and my ebook, The Complete Guided Potty Training. And that would normally, as I said, be a value of $395, plus the recorded nutrition as bonus 1. And I have another bonus. Again, it didn't want you to just hear it from me. I consulted with Heta, who is trained by Norland College, the college that trained all the nannies for the royal family, but as it happens. And they have a approach that's very aligned to me, but it's really interesting to hear from Heta what the Norland approach is. She's also a mum, and it's really interesting to hear her maternal approach. I know that the transition from home to nursery and daycare can often be an issue. So I consulted with Becca Maddox of Early Years Consultants to talk to you about how to make that transition between home and daycare. And to get those 2 recorded consultations would be a value of $80. So that's my second bonus. So Potty Success Academy with all the ebook and everything, plus bonus 1, the nutrition consultation, bonus 2, the Norland Nanny Secrets. As you can see, those would be the normal values. And I've got bonus 3. And Chrissy talked to you about this, the private members Facebook group. I give ongoing tips. I help you with troubleshooting. I give you support. I cheer you on. I send you little gifts saying, yay, and keep going. I'm there on that Facebook group all the time just to make sure you've got everything you need. Now, the value of my time and that group alone would normally be $150. So just going back to the whole package. So it's the modules, the Potty Success Academy course, bonus 1, the nutrition, bonus 2, the nanny secrets, and bonus 3, the private Facebook community. The total value would normally be $705. Now, I know that it is not easy being a parent. It's an expensive business. And so I wanted to really make it an accessible price. So this is what Jennifer said. She'd gone through the 4 modules, listened to the bonus items, and she really felt like she needed that roadmap because she didn't know where to start. She said, Tom responded so well and he's raring to go. So it's great. It was great to hear from Jennifer. So listen, I have a really special offer for you today, and I'm really excited about it. It is just $129, which currently at today's exchange rate is £107. Who knows where the pound's going? But it's just £107 getting you all of that. And I've also wanted to make it even more easy for you. So you can split it over 3 months. So that's $44 or £36 a month for 3 months. If you think about what you would spend on nappies and wipes in each of those months, you've practically covered the cost of the training. So I'm so confident in this training that I also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you would like to leap on and join, I've got the bonus offer that I mentioned earlier to you. For people that enroll right now, you get your hands on, I'm going to send you a free chill out relaxation audio for parents of toddlers. I have personally recorded, I have a background teaching stress management, and I have personally recorded a 10-minute audio to help you relax and kind of reboot. And I'm getting great feedback on it. So that is for those that enroll right now on this training. You go to My Parenting Partnership. I'm going to put that up for you in a second. The link, I'm going to put the link in the chat box. Actually, so sorry, I've got my able assistant here putting the link up for you. So if you want to right now go and purchase Potty Success Academy, you will get your you will get sent to you the free chill out relaxation audio. Okay, great. So I've got the chat box back up, and what am I going to say to you now? Oh yes. Okay. So I just wanted to walk you through what happens when you you click through on the link. So that takes you through to the checkout page, which then you put in your contact information. You either choose to pay as a one-off, or you can pay in 3 installments. I'm coming on to questions, so bear with me. You'll then get sent through to a thank you page, which is a personal thank you video for me and a welcome email. So I'm hoping that you can see the link. I hope that you can see the link. Perhaps you could just say to me if you can see the link. But this is what happens when you go through. You get inside the members area. So the members area has all the modules within it. And like I said earlier, they are bite size, and you can listen to them as you choose. You know, in your own time, you can listen to them all in one go, or you can listen to them in 10-minute modules. So I've designed it for a busy parent. So that is inside the members area. And I'm going to put my camera back on so you can see me now. And I will now take your questions. So there is the offer just come back up, and I will start to take your questions. So I can see that I've sorry, just got some noise in the background there. So I can see I've already got a question from I think it's, I can't see the name there. Okay, will there be a time limit, as I would like to discuss with my husband? Great question. I'm going to leave, the offer will be including the relaxation audio is just for tonight. But I've got this open, my cart will be open for 10 days on this special offer. So by all means, discuss that with your husband. If you wanted to grab that relaxation audio, that's only on for tonight. But the rest, you'll get all the rest of the packages that I've mentioned to you. So by all means, have a chat with your husband. So what other questions am I getting? Okay. So I have a question here. Will my child respond to your program? Because, you know, that's what parents are often worried about. Will my child respond okay to your program? So, you know what? I've never had a failure yet. Some take a little longer. Some are really fast. If I was to be asked how long you would expect for potty training, the preparation time you do in your own time. The actual nappies off, most of my clients, 90% of my clients have got that down in 2 weeks. Some of them are really quick. Some of them have got their child completely dry and nappy free within 3 days. And others, it takes a little bit longer. But that is because the reason why it's pretty fast is because they've done the preparation. And that's what I'm so big on. So that's what but all children that all parents that I have worked with have responded successfully to the program. Another question, do I need to buy a lot of expensive equipment? No, you don't. So I'm a big proponent of a good fit potty, a good bottom fit, and so, you know, perhaps a good toilet seat insert. I'd like you to get a few books, but I'd suggest you get them from the library. That's really about it. I mean, you'll probably want to get some old towels for when you go for the go for it training, just in case of accidents. But I'm not a proponent of any other expensive equipment. So another question coming through is, how will I get hold of you if I'm stuck? So like I said earlier, I am on that Facebook page all the time. So I'm normally within 24 hours or less have come to you and answered your questions on it, and other parents will come on too. So I'm here to hold your hand. I'm really want to help you get this right. I've got a huge amount of knowledge, and I absolutely love sharing it. So if you are, if you feel like you've got stuck, stick your message on our private members area Facebook group, and it will be answered personally by me normally within 24 hours or less. Okay. Another question is another question about how long will the offer last. So this offer, my card is open for 10 days, but if you wanted to get the special extra bonus of the relaxation audio, that's only available when you buy tonight, when you purchase tonight. Okay, some other questions coming through. Okay. Is a daily potty sit and laxatives the right approach for withholding? Really great question. So for those of you that don't know, withholding withholding and constipation kind of go together. But it's usually come about from a child having a fear of doing a poo because they've done a poo that has been painful. So I would say, yes, it is definitely a good approach, but I've got more within the program, and people will report they often come on the program because of the constipation and withholding, and I've got lots of tips for you, lots of extra tips from you on that. Okay. So somebody said they started and it was all going well, and then it just went went badly wrong, wouldn't go anywhere near the potty. Yeah, this is a really common one, and you'll find Chrissy mentioned the reflective listening. That's the whole section on validating children's emotions. I touched on it tonight. If you think about tonight as a pie, this would be one small slice of the pie that I was able to give to you. So there's so much more, and like I said, I've done years of research to get me to this stage. So there's a lot that you can do to get a child reinterested, and a lot of that will be around using the descriptive praise and validating their feelings, and that will lower their resistance and get them wanting to work with you on it. Okay. Now, what else have I got coming up? Yeah, somebody said that a child started hiding the accidents. That's usually because they're feeling some shame or embarrassment around it. I cover that within the program. We don't want our children to feel like they're embarrassed to let us know that they've had an accident. So it's a dual thing. There's lots of ways to avoid the accidents, and getting in on that emotional side, helping your child feel understood will stop her wanting to cover it up, and what you're doing will stop her having accidents. So it's a kind of two-pronged approach to success. Somebody said that they've retried but had no success. If you saw Chrissy talk about that, she tried that on at least four separate occasions. I can honestly say that my approach is different, and it really, really works. It's quite hard to get it across right now, but it is all about working in collaboration with your child. And, some of the other methods is so much parent driven, and the odd child will respond to that, but so many of them don't. So it's about changing your approach, like I did, like you heard Chrissy and other people along the way talk about. You'd just be amazed when you change your approach with the child, what it brings out in them, because children want to get it right. They really do. It'll seem like they don't, but that's usually because they feel shame or embarrassment. So they really do. I want you to trust me on this, that they want to get it right. Okay. Somebody has asked about the money back guarantee. So what's that about? They've said. Okay, so in the 30 days money back guarantee, you're going to want to thoroughly go over the program to check it out and test it all out. Test out the ways to connect with your child, test out using the descriptive praise, the preparation. You're going to want to see if you're going to have that shift in thinking and shift in approach that gets a different response, or the response that you want from your child. Now, if at the end of that you feel that you just, you haven't got, the approach doesn't fit for you, or that you don't like that approach, then you can personally email me to ask me for your money back. And I will take that personal email, and I will be very happy to give you your money back. I feel very confident, like I said, in this program. So that's why I'm confident enough to give you the 30-day money-back guarantee. What I won't say within that 30 days is whether you will definitely have reached the completely dry, out of nappy stage, because you might be purchasing this program when your child is 18 months old in preparation. But I want you to just, go in, understand it all, really get the most of it, and I'm confident that it'll, if you're still here, that it will really click with your way of parenting. Okay. So, are there any more questions? I want to say now before I go that I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity. I would absolutely love to help you on your journey. I want to thank you so much for being here. If you're still on the fence, I'd just like you to think about what life would be like with me helping you to get a potty trained child, a child that listens to you and wants to please. I really want to make sure that you've got all your questions answered so that you can be decisive. Whether if you're on the fence, I'd like to help you decide one way or the other. And if I can help you on your journey, I will be just so thrilled. And I will, like I said, I will be there with you every step of the way in that Facebook page, in that Facebook group. If you, in order to get the offer tonight, you just need to go to the link, myparentingpartnership.com/join. You should have a link up or on your thing, and that will take you straight through to get the program. Now, somebody, just see if there are any more questions coming through. Okay. Okay, so somebody asked, how do you stop a child doing a poo in his cot? It's Miranda, it's just, there isn't one answer to that, but it will be through a series of ways that you need to get him on board. So I've had this one before. It's usually around some kind of sense of security for being in his cot. It won't be done deliberately, defiantly to make you unhappy. There's some kind of sense of security, and the key is to get him feeling secure doing the poos elsewhere, and you will get there. And there's all kinds of ways within the program to help you do that. So, like I said, it's just been a real pleasure to have you on. I would absolutely love to see you on the inside and work with you on this. I'm a real proponent for I'm gunning for all my clients. So go to www.myparentingpartnership.com/join. You can purchase in one go. You can purchase in and spread it over 3 months. Tonight, it will get you the extra bonus of the relaxation audio. And I will have this cart open for 10 days. After which I'll close it, and I can't guarantee when I'll open it again, and also what the price will be next time, because it really is a special September back to school. I know we've all got expenses offer. So I'm just going to thank you so much for your time, and I'm going to say good night. Shall I end it?
Just leave that page up.
I don't want to leave it for too long because it'll make it already an hour and 15.
Yep, this doesn't matter.
Okay. Or just put a reminder to
You had